Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we are entering week 3 of the Tyre Nichols trial, and here's the update of what happened today, which is Monday. This is what's going on. First half of the first morning part of the trial, it was held up due to some technicalities they was working on. So in the second half, they had a few witnesses on the stand. The main witness they had up there grilling was Field Lieutenant Duane Smith. Now he was overseeing he was the supervisor of the Scorpion team. And they had him up there, and he was saying some of the stupidest stuff I ever heard somebody say. That's a police officer for 20 or 30 plus years that he was involved in, you know, the city of Memphis, working for them as a cop. Take a look at this, and we'll come back and talk about it, because this stuff right here is crazy. I don't know how long this thing gonna be, but they need to wrap this up, because I mean the Scorpion team look bad. They look bad. These 3 dudes up there, Smith, Bean, and Haley, they look hella stupid, and they got people up there talking and basically just throwing them, raking them right over the coals, including Duane Smith, and he need to be over there with them, but you know how it is. Take a look, you know my feelings about it. Let's get it.
Today in court there, and another big story we're following involves, of course, the Memphis Police Department's former Scorpion unit in the spotlight as 3 of its former officers are now on trial in the beating death of Tyre Nichols.
Scorpion Unit Supervisor Lieutenant Duane Smith was back on the witness stand today in the trial of Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith, and Demetrius Haley.
WREG's April Thompson is covering that case. April, more compelling testimony as we begin week 3 of this trial.
That's right, Stephanie and Greg. Lieutenant Duane Smith shedding more light on that now infamous Scorpion unit, and also telling of his own nervousness when he was talking to the FBI, because at one time they were considering charging him. Former Memphis Police Lieutenant Duane Smith headed back to federal court Monday morning, ready to answer more questions about the Scorpion unit he led during the beating death of Tyre Nichols. It was his Team 1 that had the encounter with Nichols, including former officers Tadarius Bean, Justin Smith, and Demetrius Haley, who are now on trial in the beating death. Lieutenant Smith saying he trusted Justin Smith, no relation, who was a hard worker, honest and skilled, so he made him team leader. Justin Smith's attorney saying his client was even the one who turned in another officer who slapped a handcuffed suspect. But Lieutenant Smith also revealing he was aware of Emmitt Martin's anger issues, especially after he was hit by a car, but saying the department cleared Martin back to work. Smith saying, quote, "I figured everything was all right." The lieutenant also giving eye-opening testimony about MPD force continuum, which is the level of force officers are taught to use and in what order, from physical presence, verbal commands, and chemical agents to soft hands, hard hands, physical weapon, and deadly force. But Lieutenant Smith admitted even he didn't understand the continuum, saying it's confusing. Also on the stand, a newer Scorpion officer who took the incident report the night of the beating. Belandria McKinney testifying she reported exactly what the officers involved told her, even saying Desmond Mills texted her a picture of Tyre Nichols from the scene. A picture she did not need, so she deleted it. But she admitted things were left out of her report, saying, "I don't know why I was picked to do all of this. People drive by my house because my name is associated with it." Plenty of people listening to all of this testimony, including Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, who was in court today. He says this case shows change is needed.
Memphis Police Department policies and practices need to change, and politicians who are in positions of power need to show up and be present and engaged during this moment of Memphis history, American history, so that we don't repeat the same things that got us into this place in the first place.
Now, court has ended for today, but 2 final witnesses were on the stand. One was a woman who Demetrius Haley sent a photo of the injured Tyre Nichols to. She said she didn't know Tyre Nichols, even though they both worked at FedEx. And she said she was just a family friend of Demetrius Haley. And the final witness was the former Chief City Legal Analyst Zaid Salid. He testified about what officers are taught and trained about their responsibility, the duty to intervene, the duty to render aid, and to report excessive force. And they were also taught what can happen to them if they don't do it. They can be charged criminally, civilly, and they could end up losing their jobs. And Zaid Salim will be back on the stand in the morning. Reporting for your news leader in downtown Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, hopefully another day closer to a verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first day of week 3 of the Tyre Nichols trial. And you've seen it. You heard it first. More dumb shit. Lieutenant Duane Smith, dumbass. I'm keeping it real. Let's go down the line. Said he was nervous about being questioned by the FBI. They were thinking about arresting him. And he should have. I think the reason why they didn't arrest him because he got there after Tyre Nichols was beat and he didn't lay a hand on him. He stood there and looked stupid. As a field supervisor, he did not do anything supervisor-like. He never asked the right questions, which we talked about. Why does he look like that? How did he get them marks on him? Never asked nothing. He just stand there and looked at him. Then he got up next to him and talked all stupid. Did you take something, man? You're drunk. What happened to you? The man had brain damage on the ground. You didn't see he was incoherent. You never asked the right questions. You never got angry that officers apprehended a man that looked like that. Never asked the questions, never rendered aid, never said, hey, we need EMS out here stat, never said none of that. Just sat there and looked at him stupid like he wasn't even a human fucking man. I think, just like on my channel, Sinister Intent, when we just did the Zara Baker story, and everybody's wondering why the father, Adam Baker didn't get arrested for the death of his child. I think the same thing with Duane Smith. He falls under the quote unquote idiot clause. They look at it like, it's more of a headache to try to get him sentenced than the rest of them that blatantly did it. So they just let the small fish go through the cracks. That's the reason why I think he's sitting back looking stupid, sweating bullets. What else did he say? He trusted Justin Smith. That's why he made him supervisor. He trusted his characters and values, making him team leader of Scorpion Team 1. If he was the team leader, in my opinion, it seemed like Emmitt Martin was in charge. The same one that you say had anger issues. You would have never known looking at the beating video that Justin Smith was in charge of anything, not even his own thoughts and actions. Think about that. Justin Smith chased him down like a slave and tackled him. He the one that caught him. Then when he caught him, who was doing most of the talking? Emmitt Martin. Put your hands behind your back. All this other stuff. Beating on him. You punched on him too. Another thing with this dude, Duane Smith, I forgot to bring up in another video. I ain't never seen the video. I didn't want to see it. The only time I seen it was when I saw it on the Sky Cop thing. Remember when I stood on the corner where Tyre Nichols was beat? You guys have been with me long enough, and we looked up at the Sky Cam, and like the light turned on when I made motion. Why are you looking at it late? You should have looked at it that same damn night. You should have let them know, hey, y'all better tell me the truth. What happened out here with this boy getting beat like this? Because that Sky Cam is right there. So what happened? Didn't say none of that. Then you looked at it weeks after. Weeks after the man was dead. You looked at it weeks after. Your police investigation work wasn't done. Because a lot of questions remain on why he looked like that and you never did nothing about it. That's why I hold you just as accountable to the rest of these fucking assholes. That's why. Here's another thing that make me mad. Justin Smith turned somebody else in. He ain't turned them in. All he did was walk around and limp and act like his back was hurting and all this other stuff, like Tyre Nichols just gave him the brawl for it all, and they couldn't handle him. Building the story. Ooh, ow. Cut the bullshit. Who we fooling? Who we fooling here? Huh? He knew about Emmitt Martin's anger issues. But because, you know, he had got hit by a car, I guess he had anger issues from that too. And the police, Memphis police cleared him to go back to work. I thought everything was all right. This is what I want to get to. You knew he had anger issues and you had him on a specialized team where their rules on them are a little less, they're a little less restrained like other MPD officers, and you kept him in that group. You knew, you cannot tell me you didn't, as a field supervisor, you knew that they kick ass and take names and do some of the craziest stuff because of the reports and that were filed against them. You knew. You can't tell me being a cop for 20 or 30 years out there on the force, you don't know nothing. That's the thing. Don't nobody know nothing. Everybody in charge don't nobody know a damn thing. If they said he was cleared to go back, why didn't you have a talk with him? How many times did you sit with Emmitt Martin and look at him and be like, hey, are you okay? I'm just checking on you because we really gotta, you know, we're out here trying to do something good. We got a lot of complaints. I don't need you here if you on edge and your head ain't right. Didn't say none of that. And I can tell you ain't say none of that neither, because the way he beat Tyre Nichols willy-nilly like it was nothing and no repercussions to what was being done, right? He didn't think nothing about you or Justin Smith when he was kicking ass. And they was helping him. They held that man's arms like a Clint Eastwood movie while he was getting punched upside his head and then kicked in the face while they held his arms at the side when he was on the ground. This stuff is crazy, y'all. This is crazy, y'all. For real. Look at this. What's the lady's name? Philandria McKinney. She came up late. They got her taking a report of Tyre Nichols. She wasn't even there. You heard her? She said, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Why they got me doing this? Passing the buck. They was setting it up in case he died, which I think they knew he was going to. They was going to have it written through somebody else, so they would have to follow a whodunit, and they could clear themselves. Typical police BS, red tape BS. They put her in it. She said she wrote down everything the Scorpion Team 1 told her, right? What else? I got the notes here. It said Desmond Mills Jr. sent her the video, text her the picture of Tyre Nichols on the ground. They was passing that picture around of how they did that man. That didn't do anything. Sent it to her. She said she deleted it because she didn't need it. This is wild, man. This is wild. I mean, I said all I got to say about this stuff, man, but come on, man. Did you hear the Tennessee State representative? I forgot his name. He said politicians need to be in here because this case is historical and they need to see this so they can make changes. I told you, they don't care. We've been in trial 3 weeks. Trial starts 9 a.m. in Memphis. How many people that are politicians you think was playing golf during the days this trial's been going on? Or laying in their beds, or talking about nonsense on boats, probably on vacation. Somebody died. Somebody died in your state, and change is needed, and you're not even there. I want you to think about that. That black dude that spoke, he spoke volumes. At least he was there repping, whereas other people are not that need to be there. That's why I keep telling you, you know, people talk about the George Floyd law and all this other stuff. People don't care. They don't care. And they won't care. As long as they keep this dynamic of these type of people, these type of teams and these type of police officers, and police are needed to stop the violence and the atrocities that people put on each other. It's not going nowhere. It's not. To put a clamp on the police means what? A loss of money from other people that are up top that need the police to protect their investments. See, this is the thing. There are a lot of people out here that take lives because they don't value life. There are people out here that take lives because they don't value anything. They'll take a life for whatever possessions a person has that could be temporary at best. They'll do that, but there are people out here that know that this is being done, and they're stacking their wallets while these people out here are fighting and killing for nothing. I told you, people make green off of the violence and vitriol that we have against each other, whether we're black, white, purple, green, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these. There are people profiting off of the violence from somebody else, and they have nothing to do with it or even know the person. This is craziness right here. I mean, just sitting back and really paying attention to this. This is craziness. And every day, this family is forced to go in there and hear more and more atrocities and negligence from police officials of why their son is not alive. I want you to think about that. Any of us could have been Tyre Nichols. Black. Because I think if he's a white guy, this wouldn't happen. But any of us could have been Tyre Nichols. And our family could very well be sitting up there with Rovon Wells and Rodney Wells, taking their place in this situation. This is not the last time this is going to happen. And you'll see. Because no change is going to come, because it does what? It pulls money out of somebody's pocket. See what I'm saying? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Justice for Tyre Nichols. Let's go.